Alright, I guess we can start unloading stuff now.
Alright.
Here it is, right?
Yeah, I think this is it.
Alright. What the?
What? Oh.
Hey, what's up everybody? So here's what we're going to do with this episode today. I'm going to give you the rundown on a little experiment that I happen to have the means to try. I came upon a bunch of dead laptop batteries, and I'll put some links over here to a couple guys who have some awesome channels on making your own Tesla Powerwall. Basically, what we're going to do is I'm going to try to gather up a lot of stuff and make battery for the bus that we're going to store the solar power using, you know, these recycled batteries. So for this, what you're going to need, let me show you what I got, is a prying tool to get these batteries open, a pair of wire cutters, a multimeter to check the voltage. Later along down the line, you're going to need one of these bad boys to mount the batteries in, and one of these iMacs chargers would be really helpful. There are other options, but this is probably the best bet. That's what those guys pretty much use, I guess. I know Jehu Garcia uses that. And then I bought this on Amazon as well. Highly recommend this thing. For charging the batteries, it is awesome. An issue I ran into with the iMacs is it won't charge batteries that are less than 2.5 volts. So, you know, what if you harvest one of these that's really old? You're not going to get anything more than 2.5 in a lot of those. So what you're going to need is this guy, because it doesn't really care what the voltage is at, and you're going to be able to easily charge the rest of that stuff. It's not very particular about the voltage going in, and it's pretty efficient. So I'll show you the process of getting this thing out, and we can get started on the process of seeing what's worth keeping and what we're going to use in the wall. Alright guys, so I'm going to get started here. Let's just crack this battery open. I got most of these out of Lenovo laptops. I know there's recommendations on, you know, different types that you can get from different manufacturers that might, you know, yield better stuff. They use better quality batteries in their, you know, initial setup kind of stuff. I know Panasonic, Sony, and Samsung are good batteries to look for. You could do your own research on what are the bad ones and stuff like that, but you know. So I got it pretty much open now. Just separating this part. Just take a little prying tool and get it open that way. Sometimes it's a pain to get them out, and you might hurt yourself. Just make sure you don't damage the batteries. Alright, so we got them pretty much out of there. So what you'll see, let me just separate this stuff. What you'll typically see in these is six cells, and you know, the input voltage of your chargers you'll often see is like around 10 volts, and essentially the nominal voltage of these batteries is 3.7 volts, which is like the working voltage. The full charge is 4.2. Each cell gets to that, and when they're dead, it's 3 volts. And then you have this guy right here. This thing right here is like a BMS, the battery management system. Pretty much distributes the power evenly throughout the system while your laptop charges it. So pretty much to separate that stuff, I just get a pair of wire snippers, and I just snip it off like that, and I just separate them that way. Another thing you could do if you don't have some wire snippers, you can just pull this stuff apart and kind of just wiggle, and it gets rid of those welds that are on the battery's terminals there, and then you can get them off one by one just like that. So yeah, I guess I'll time lapse this for you guys.
Once upon a time, there was a man would and give a dime to a fellow man in need.
Alright, so all of them are out now, and we can pretty much scrap all this stuff. You're not going to need that anymore. Okay, so the next thing you're going to do is you're going to want to set your multimeter to DC voltage, so you can read the voltage of the batteries here, and you're going to want to take the positive and the negative, red and black leads, and read the voltage there. So the first one we have 3.9, that's a good battery. Next one we have 3.8. Next one is 3.8 again. Next one 3.8 again. Yep, this was a pretty good batch we had here. 3.8 again. And 3.9. In a couple of videos I saw, they wrote the voltages down here. I'm assuming to kind of organize them or to do something to that effect. I actually have a bunch of different boxes where I separate my stuff, so I don't want to mark them up too much. But as you can see over here, they get marked up eventually with some stuff that I need that information for. So I'll bring you over here. Alright, so once you have the batteries harvested, the next thing you're going to want to do is get them charged up to their full capacity of 4.2 volts. Then you're going to want to leave them, for 2 weeks you're going to want to leave them to sit at full charge. And this is so you can see the self-discharge rate of the batteries. And once you do that, like I have this one here, it's about 2 weeks that since I've charged that one to full capacity. You're going to go to your IMAX LiPo balance charger, and you're going to discharge it. Now this thing has a lot of different settings for a lot of different kinds of batteries. For this, we're going to be going at 1 amp, 3.0 volts, one battery one single there. Basically, this is going to take it from the 4.2 that we just charged it to down to 3 volts and count the milliamp hour capacity. So all you have to do that is hit start and hold start, and then it should go. You can see the voltage up there kind of goes down, and it tells you the discharge time and the amperage at which it is being discharged. So far we have 3 milliamp hours. Oh yeah, these can take up to, like, I've even seen them go to like 2 or 3 hours, so it can take a while, but you definitely get an accurate reading. And once you get that information, what I tend to do once it's completely done, I can show you guys a video of it being done. What I'll do is I'll grab it and I will write down the milliamp hours on the battery and then organize it. I think for my purposes, I'm looking for batteries that are over 1800 milliamp hours for the purposes that I have. with the bus. So we'll see what happens with that. Hopefully we can get enough of them. Otherwise, we're gonna have to get some more laptop batteries. Alright, so I timed this pretty good. One of the batteries just fully discharged here. I had it 2 weeks ago charged up to full 4.2, and it got drawn down to 2.98 there, and you can see the total milliamp hours is 2,410, so that's about 2 amp hours for that battery, and that's really good. 2.5 amp hours for that battery rather. Alright, so what I do then is I usually have a Sharpie around, but what I'll do is I'll just remember that that one's 2410, and I'll grab another one that I need to discharge right here, and let's go through the process one more time. Negative, and I got these really awesome magnets on the end to really facilitate this, because using alligator clamps on these otherwise would be weird. So we got 2410. I'll remember to write that down on the other battery. Let me try to get this focused for you. And it's gonna be weird. There we go. Alright, so I'm gonna hit stop, and then do the same process as before. Just hold that in, battery check, and you can see it's going. And then we just let them do the trick. And I got my Sharpie here, so I will write down that voltage, or that amperage rather. Can you see? So I got 2,410 milliamp hours, and then I throw that in a box and then fully charge that, and then store it away for when I'm ready to link them all together. Thanks for watching.